Grand Rising, beautiful family. It's Retta's Recovery Reminders. It's Retta, and Ratchet is right here with me as always. It is Monday, 11/11. It's the portal today, y'all. So if you were wanting to switch timelines, today would have been the day. We can do so by changing our frequency that we are aligned to, our emotional frequency. If we are in higher vibration emotions, that's what we draw into our life. And I was only able to do that by actually going over all the negative things that I had been through in my life and self-evaluating that most of it was done when I was a child and didn't really have the awareness that I have today, but a lot of the feelings stuck with me and it made me feel worthless and, unlovable, because that's what it does when, we have abandonment issues and stuff like that. And until we actually look at the core wounds that created the toxic patterns to begin with, addiction, abuse, any of it, until we evaluate where it originally came from and, actually heal the root cause, you'll just continue in the same negative patterns, constantly looking for other things to fix what, put band-aids on what you could fix if you just take the time to look into yourself and, figure things out from the mature standpoint. And, I know it's hard because it took me most of my life to get to a place where I was able to admit, responsibility for every single thing that had happened in my life, and that includes not being with my children. And, today I know that I can't do anything about the circumstance changing the past, but I know that I can create the best life that I can going forward in recovery, and then reaching out to help other recovering addicts gives you that confidence and that emotional connection that we were looking for in the relationships but couldn't find. Like, really, it's emotional connection that we're all seeking, and we had been programmed by mostly the media to seek it from a partner of the other sex, and when I got married, I was like, oh, I'll never get divorced, because I didn't want to do the same thing my parents did, but I didn't know how to go about getting out of the limiting patterns in my head until I did. And, it is possible with the information that we have today, just knowing that what we had believed in youth was lies to keep us stuck in limiting patterns. We're not born sinners. That's retarded and ridiculous. Have you ever seen a baby that was born a sinner? No, it was made up to make us feel less than. And we are not. We are what we believe we are. And when you start giving yourself the true love, the authentic, uplifting love that you came to this earth to experience, instead of the physical, empty, you know what I mean, the icky connections. Like, there's two energetic, about connection. authentic connection where people actually care about each other's feelings. I care about how you feel, so I don't do things to try to make you feel like you're not good enough. And, I expected to get the same thing in return because that's what I was giving, but I wasn't getting that. And it helped me really see the limiting patterns in other people. So it helped me take a look at my own patterns and my own limiting beliefs. Because I was like, dude, is that how I look? Am I acting like that? Nah. No way. But I was just as blind and programmed as the next guy. Like, I didn't, I knew a lot of things, but I hadn't put them into practice in my life so they did any good. Like, I had the information. It's like having a library and books stacked, but never actually opening them to get the knowledge and information out. But then once you have the information, you actually have to put it into action in your life in order for it to make a difference. And that's where I was getting, I would start, and I would get sidetracked and distracted with other things that I thought that I was wanting in my life, a partner, a relationship, children, like all the things that we're taught to chase. And today I don't chase anything but my spiritual alignment with my most high, like my most high frequency, the highest frequency that I can get in alignment with every day. That's where I'm trying to get. When I wake up and I go into my meditation and my stillness, I plant that intention that today is going to be the best day ever. And I do it day after day. And when you consistently start telling yourself that it's going to be a wonderful day, you start having wonderful days, I promise. So we're at the law of action. Hey, speaking of putting things into action, perfect law. The law of action says manifestation requires aligned action. And see, this is where I wasn't getting it before either, because I didn't have all the information. I knew about the law of attraction, but I didn't know about all the other laws that have to be put into, not put into, because they are. They are. And these are the true laws of the universe and the only real laws that you need to have any worry about, because they're the only real laws. Okay, you must take action to get results. Excuse me. Okay. Sitting on your butt and thinking about things in reality is good, but manifestation won't work like that. Although vibration is a big piece of the puzzle, it takes inspired action to get real results. The key word here is inspired action. An inspired action is an action that aligns with what you are passionate about. You will know it because this job should be challenging but enjoyable. It will not bring in a sense of struggle with frustration and anxiety. Any successful person will tell you that success is accompanied by a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. This is not to scare you, but to motivate you. Writers often say that hours go by unnoticed when they are writing because their work is a labor of love. They worked hard. They did not suffer, but they did not suffer. Their actions may or may not become bestsellers. In fact, they may never see the light of day. Achievement lies not in the results, but in what they have learned in the process. When you are consistent with what you really want, the work will not seem tedious. Your desires are brought to you via thought, and you receive them by deciding to take action. Jen Sincero. Sometimes even the smallest action will bring greater opportunities, which can then lead to other things that bring you closer to your goal, and so on. This is not always obvious. So the trick is to use your intuition, and don't overthink or let yourself get in the way. Very, very hard to do. We are conditioned to believe that the result comes from hard work, which is true, but we can decide whether this work is a process of struggle or mastery. Advice: take inventory on what you do in your daily life. Do your actions meet your desires? If so, does it feel like a challenge or a struggle? Challenge is good for you, but the struggle is a sure sign that you need to ease up a bit. Practitioners of the law of attraction often wish they had known the law of action earlier. The two laws are closely linked, but the law of action tells us that we must actively pursue our goals. Many people think that by visualizing goals and developing a positive attitude towards them is enough to use the law of attraction, but you must also take inspiring steps to achieve the goal you want. Whether it is a big step or a small step, it will immediately help you attract the improved relationship, job, or abundance that you are looking for. Closely related to the law of attraction, the law of action is all about taking real, actionable steps to invite what we want into our lives. This inspiration often comes from the heart. Inspired action is that gentle internal nudge. It's not always a plan of action. To practice this rule is to slow down. Getting quiet and creating space for inner guidance. When we put aside the need to organize and control how things work, but are open to all possibilities, it opens up space for new ways to achieve goals they may not have considered. While the law of attraction is about aligning yourself with what you want, the law of action is about taking action to accomplish what you want. Therefore, you can certainly create a vision board, but it is more important to take practical steps to bring yourself closer to your vision. And this also means not doing certain things that would lead you away from your projected goal. And, that was what was the hardest part for me, was, not getting that hit of dopamine that I was so used to chasing every day, and today, thank goodness, I can create almost the same feelings within myself with my breath and my meditation. And if I would have known that to begin with, that I could get high on my breath, oh my God, why didn't I start this years ago? I would probably have it down by now. But I will get there, and the sooner you start, the sooner you can, get on to your journey of wholeness and spreading your love and light with the world. Something happens when you understand the power that you have by choosing better things for yourself, choosing your health, healthy things, diet, your diet, eating fresh fruits instead of processed food, that I can't explain how big of a difference it made eating healthily, not eating any processed or poisonous food. Non-GMO is so important, and that's why I can't wait to find my land and grow fruit trees and a garden. I can't wait. I have a vision in my head of my dream homestead, with all my sisters in healing. And I am going to create this beautiful place for us all to come and heal. And it's only up here right now, but everything starts with a thought. And when you get consistent and continue working towards that same goal, you have no other choice but to get there. And today, that's what I'm doing. I love you guys. I hope everybody has a really, really great week this week. Be in your blessings. 11/11. You are creating the change in your life. Do something different today. Take a different way home. Make it, spontaneous. See what you can see. Life is amazing. You just have to start looking for the blessings. They're out there. I love you guys. What, Ratch? I love you guys. Come here. Come here. You want to come up and say bye-bye? Come on. Come here. Come here. Okay. She's on the bed. There she is. There's my Ratchy. Anyway, I love you guys. Be a blessing. Peace.